producer, media personality. He's written books like The Mac Within, The Elite Way, The Art of Macking, my gosh. Play or Be Played, What Every Female Should Know About Men, Dating, and Relationships, and The Art of Gold Digging. And of course, he also produced the 2011 documentary film, Hidden Colors, on the history of African and Aboriginal people, as well as a follow-up with the Hidden Colors 2, The Triumph of Melanin. And what drew our attention to Tariq Nasheed probably is his sterling work in a documentary called Haiti, 1804. And he also did a horror movie. I don't know. He was on that Stephen King mode. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tariq Nasheed.
Oh, what's up, family? What's up, family? What's up, family? How you doing, Mark?
We good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just loving Zimbabwe, man. It's my first time here in Zim. I've been to South Africa before. I've been to a few other African countries, but this is my first time here, man, and I'm just in love with the country, man. Straight up.
You love it.
I love it, man.
Wow.
The energy, man. It's just so peaceful, man. People are just so peaceful. They're doing their thing. They on the grind. I just love that energy, man.
Contrary to everything.
Contrary to what you see, man, in the Western media, it's the opposite. They make it seem like everybody's over here just laying in an alley eating pizza crust. You know? So people over here grinding, man. They hustling, getting it in, getting their money. Just living, man, living good, living right, man. The energy is so positive here, man. I've never seen that type of just a positive, welcoming vibe anywhere. I've been all over the world, man, and I've been to Easter Island. I've been everywhere, in every crevice of the planet, and right here, this is it right here, man. For real.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much for that. And I'm so glad your hosts have shown you true Zimbabwean hospitality.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Bitmari. Shout out to the organization. They brought me out here. And by the way, Bitmari, they're doing great things for the people out here. They have a situation where they can get money transferred to family members abroad in the diaspora without those extraordinary remittance fees. They're also working with a lot of the women's farmers here in Zimbabwe, helping them get capital from us over abroad. A lot of African Americans, we have access to certain levels of capital, so we're trying to bridge that gap. We're really trying to get that Pan-African thing going.
All right, that's brilliant, because you know what? Lots of opportunities here. Lots of opportunity. We have opportunity here in Africa. 1 billion reasons, no doubt. All right, let's talk about you, man.
Yeah.
All right. The book, The Art of Gold Digging, man.
Now we got to go back. We got to go back to my first book. My first book was The Art of Macking.
The Art of Macking.
Yeah, I wrote a book in 1999 called The Art of Macking, because I wrote it at the time in the late 90s. You had a lot of these books like Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. It was that whole relationship thing, and it was telling men the wrong advice about dating. It was telling men to be way too sensitive. And a lot of folks don't know, women don't like a dude who's too sensitive. Women like balance. Why are you looking at me like that? The sister's looking at me like, I like a sensitive man. No, you don't. Not too sensitive.
Not too sensitive.
There has to be a balance. Women like a dude who's sensitive with a little edge. And a lot of times women don't want to admit that she wants a little edge, because you're not supposed to say that you want a bad boy to a certain degree. You're not supposed to say that. You know, so you're supposed to pretend that you ended up with a bad boy, but deep down you were looking for one anyway.
So women like that hyper masculine.
They do, but there has to be a balance. They don't want him to be hyper masculine like Ike Turner.
Almost broke my chair. Not Ike Turner. No.
So there had to be a balance. So that's what I wrote in the book. I wrote The Art of Macking, giving real advice on how men really think. And that book became a huge bestseller. And then I got another book deal from the major publishing companies. I got a deal with Simon & Schuster, and they wanted to do a book about women. So I wrote a book called Play or Be Played.
Play or Be now that one. Now I'm interested in that one, because it's your girlfriend's favorite. I would like to. What were you saying in that book?
I was telling women how not to get played by dudes. A lot of women were buying my book, The Art of Macking, secretly. A lot of women were buying that book.
So they can see all the moves.
Right, so they can learn the secrets. So I'm like, okay, I'll tell you, because at that time, my daughter was born, and I had a daughter, so I'm like, let me give her some information on how to maneuver through the dating world when she grows up.
All right.
So I was telling women how to look for certain signs in men, how not to be a certain type of woman who will attract a certain type of man, because your energy attracts certain people. That's 80% of who you date. It's all about who you are, the kind of person that you are. That's who you're going to draw to you. Water seeps its own level. So if you're dating some low-level dudes, you're acting like a low-level chick. Dudes, if you're dating...
You're touching a lot of raw nerves. You don't understand.
Yes. So those books are really self-reflective. So then that brings us to The Art of Gold Digging, because a lot of women were like, okay, the relationship thing, that's fine. How do I find men with money? Because there's a negative stigma on women trying to date for money, and I don't think anything is wrong with that. Because a lot of times dudes date for looks. You want to, a dude don't care what the woman looks like. He don't care what she acts like. If she looks good, he'll excuse a lot of stuff.
That is true.
We can be superficial, you know. So some women will like, oh, I don't care what the dude looks like, whatever. If he has money, I'll rock with him. I'll see what's popping with him. So I wrote a book about the art of gold digging, how to find somebody who has financial means, but how not to be manipulative, though. All of my books, I tell people, don't manipulate people, don't lie to people, just carry yourself a certain way and you'll attract the ones that you want to get with.
Be the person you want to find.
Yes, indeed.
I like the line from Jennings. I listened to a bit of Jennings. Life Jennings, he always says, don't be a nickel out here looking for a dime. Love that. Love that. All right, so then you went on to do a couple of things. Let's fast forward and talk about Haiti. 1804.
Yeah, I did a movie. That's my latest documentary about the history of Haiti. I did the Hidden Colors series, and those are the biggest selling Black history documentaries ever. And one of the things we talked about in the documentary, we talked about Haiti, but we did it very briefly. So what I wanted to do a full-length documentary on the history of Haiti, showing how an enslaved society rose up against their oppressors and took over. That has never happened before in history.
No.
Ever. That's the first time that a slave population or an enslaved population took over its enslavers. And that's an amazing story, and they don't like to frame the Haiti narrative like that. The narrative that they like to have of Haiti is that the Haitians practiced voodoo, the devil came and got rid of the French, and now the Haiti people are poor. So that's not what really happened. We wanted to tell the truth from our perspective, because a lot of times we get media and history information from Western media, and I like to create a situation where we can tell our own history from our own eyes. And this is why I'm over here, and I'm letting people know. While I'm here, I'm taking a lot of pictures and putting them on Instagram. And, people from the Americas, they are shocked at the images that I'm sending them of Zimbabwe. They're absolutely shocked. They're like, I didn't know it looked that good over there. I didn't know it was that
mud huts.
No mud huts. They were like, hey, people ain't living in shanty towns all over the place. And people are just shocked over there that it looks this nice. And everybody's just doing their thing and looking good and being good. And it's sad that that's shocking, but the Western media has shown that over and over and over again. So this is why it's important for us to connect, Africans in the diaspora, to connect with the brothers and sisters here at home, because we do want to reach out. A lot of folks don't know. We do want to reach out and connect with brothers and sisters here, but we don't have that liaison. This is why we need to travel more. This is why I try to tell brothers and sisters, take tours over here. Come over here and vibe and just get down with the brothers and sisters here.
Wow, incredible. Let's talk about Hidden Color.
Yes.
That one, I sense that's the one you kicked off, really?
Yep, in 2011. That's Hidden Colors 1. The untold history of African American, Aboriginal, African, and Moorish people. And that one, I did that movie because at the time you had a lot of Hollywood movies like Precious, The Blind Side, a lot of movies coming out of Hollywood showing black people very negatively.
True.
And I wanted to do something about our history where we're telling the truth. Anytime we hear or see anything about black history, it's framed in the narrative of slavery, or if they show something about African societies, they make everybody white. Just like in Egypt. Any movie they do in Hollywood about Egypt, everybody looks like the cast of Game of Thrones. And that ain't, we know that ain't true.
That's not true.
Yeah.
The Egyptians who were there were black.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we wanted to touch on that and just tell the truth from our perspective. And even here, we talked about Zimbabwe. We talked about the great Zimbabwe structures.
Yeah.
That, the people over there, they try to say that when they came and discovered Zimbabwe, nothing was here, which was a complete lie. So we have to combat these lies that they're telling about us and the brothers and sisters here.
True, very true, very true. And you talk about the triumph of melanin. I really want you to get into this because even around Africa, even probably around the world, I guess, the story of this whole thing about looking lighter, looking fairer.
Yeah, I see a lot of that going on, and
bleaching the skin.
Bleaching, yeah. That's something that we gotta really check because those in the dominant society, they have pigment and melanin conferences. A lot of Europeans and Asians, they have these conferences where they're studying our pigment. They get together every year and study melanin.
No way.
Yeah, they do. And they come up with different ways to synthesize melanin, make synthetic melanin. They've been studying our melanin and the properties of melanin for years because it has healing agents. And people in the dominant society, they're dying off. Their numbers are dwindling globally. So they're studying us. They're studying our DNA to try to latch on to theirs so they can survive. There was a black woman in the United States back in the 1950s named Henrietta Lacks. And there was an HBO movie about her recently with Oprah, and we talked about her in the Hidden Colors film. But what they did, they got some of her cells while she was, she had like some kind of cancer. They got her cells, and her cells were unique because they kept multiplying. And they call the cells HeLa cells, and they still utilize the cells now to cure different diseases. They've cured polio, they cure certain cancers using this black woman's cells. So it's they study our bodies all over the world.
And it's that deep.
It's very deep. It's very, very deep.
Let's jump to Haiti, 1804. Man, I watched that. I was blown away.
Yeah.
The fact that the French, the Spaniards, the British were defeated by this group,
by these little unarmed African people. They got these brothers and sisters who, a lot of the Haitians at the time were first and second generation Africans. They came directly from here. So they still had a lot of that African spirituality. That's why the voodoo was prevalent. They had a lot of the African fighting skills, like over in Angola, you had the capoeira, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when we do my next movie, I'm going to talk about a lot of the African fighting styles that came out of here that we don't know about. The Mantu, the Queen Candace using the war elephants. We got to talk about that. But the Haitians, they held on to a lot of their African styles and their African knowledge, and that was the thing that got them over. That was the thing that helped them conquer the European powers. Because if you know yourself, you know where you come from, that's going to give you a certain level of strength. This is why they go out of their way to erase our history. They're very big on that, and that's why we have to correct that. And a thing that I noticed while I'm out here, I see signs, billboards all over the place with beautiful African people. And I've been to other African nations and haven't seen that. They'll have Chinese people, they'll have mixed people or whatever.
They'll have Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. I'm in South Africa and they got Keanu Reeves on a poster or whatever. Yeah. But over here, man, just to drive and you're seeing these beautiful African images of people living, being happy, that's very powerful. And it works the opposite. If you have images, if you're a black person or an African person, and all the positive images you see are people from the dominant white or the Asian society, that you will internalize that. You will think, okay, I equate beauty with whiteness or Asianness, and I equate blackness with anything negative, so I'm going to bleach and try to be like them.
Yeah.
You dig? So our images are very important.
Fantastic. Interesting stuff. We're talking to Tariq Nasheed, and he's a big-time media personality in the U.S., and he's here. Man, shout out to the guys hosting him. You guys are absolutely amazing.
Hit Maury.
No doubt. Okay, these are potential movie titles. Think like a man. Should we expect movies based on the books you have written? This is someone coming through on the WhatsApp.
Okay, yeah, you know what? A lot of books are made into movies. You know what's funny? When my book, The Art of Mackin, came out, they were trying to do a movie about me and my books, because I was really the only person who was known in the media for doing relationship advice. And they kept trying to do a book deal, and the publisher I was with kept messing it up. They were trying to negotiate too much money, so they messed the deal up. Then Hollywood came out with a movie called Hitch, which was basically what they were trying to do with me. They were trying to tell my story.
No.
Then they did the Hitch thing. Yeah.
So Hitch
Many people say that concept was based on what I was doing at the time.
Oh man, and your publisher has a lot of explaining.
Yeah, man. Oh man.
Are you still with the same?
No.
You left that
I got rid of them. They were messing up a lot of deals.
Oh man.
But it worked. Hey, look, it worked out better because my movies now are hit movies out there.
Yeah.
And I own and control them, and that's a good thing.
So you're indie.
Yes, I'm indie. Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. That's amazing, man. And that way you stack it up all by yourself.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, my next question would probably be around your radio show, Ism and
Tariq Radio.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to do a show podcast called Mac Lessons Radio, where I would just give dating and relationship advice. Then that morphed into the Tariq Radio show. I still do relationship advice, and I talk about a lot of social issues. Now on Ism Radio, I have me and my two lovely co-hosts, Miss Bree and Layla Lopez. They're my female co-hosts, and we do a lot of celebrity interviews. We just had my brother Isaiah Washington on there. We had Michael J. White on there recently. We had Damon Dash.
You had Michael J. White.
Yeah. That's
big fan of that guy.
Oh yeah. He's bad. That brother has another movie coming out. So yeah, I had him. I had my man Dame Dash on there. So I have a lot of other celebrities on there. So we mix it up. I like to diversify. I don't like to be too heavy all the time. I like to be heavy a little bit, then do a little entertainment here to balance it out.
I saw the other one where you went heavy after the shooting in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You went a little heavy, and you were saying, "Come on, we know this was strategized." There was a lot of. A lot went into making this happen, where people actually got killed.
Yeah.
And you can't try to bring out the aspect that it was just a lone wolf who actually did this. No, there's a group of people who probably did this.
Yes, indeed. And what's out there in the States, man, they got a lot of these white supremacist groups out there that's doing a lot and threatening the lives of black people over there. And this is why, again, we need to reach out globally so that we can have brothers and sisters around the world as allies, so we can have folks have our back and we try to have theirs, because people in the dominant society, they try to codify their power against us anytime they can. So there's too many of us globally for us not to be reaching out with one another against a common enemy.
We got your back. I mean, coolest monkey in the jungle. Did you see what happened to Asian M in South Africa?
Oh man, yes.
Oh man, they had your back indeed.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so yeah, right. I love this. This one says his words are not just awesome. Are just awesome. No hate. He just found the awesomeness of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Although we don't. Actually. And you know what? This guy's Matthew is all right. He's actually right. Sometimes we're here in Zim and we're like, oh man, when's our economy going to improve? I mean, why? We got so many questions. We never take time to enjoy and you've just come through and you're like, man, this place is amazing.
Man. And that's the thing, because see, over there, we're like, we got to deal with racism. We got to deal with Trump. We got to deal with this. And brothers and sisters go over there like, hey, it's popping. I go here and get a job and do this, do that. So the thing is, it's just important that we, as African people, link up. And I would like Zimbabwe to be a forerunner in really getting a Pan-African thing going. I would like to see more black people come over here and invest financially.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of resources. We have a lot of disposable income. You brothers and sisters here, you have the land, and we've been looking to connect. I would like to see some type of dual citizenship thing be allowed so we can come over, because that's the thing that a lot of us are interested in over there. We would love to come back.
Last I checked, it is.
Yeah, we would love to. Yeah, we would love to have a dual citizenship to come over here and just really be with the family. We would really love that.
That would be amazing. And of course, it's open. It's open. I mean, Zim is all about that. You can just come through, and we can make it happen. And that's for real. That's absolutely right. We need to connect more, and all these borders just need to stop.
Absolutely.
We need to really cut that down. Tariq Nasheed in the studio today. If you got questions, come through. WhatsApp is 0775-897-897. And of course, for you guys who are actually hanging with us right now on Twitter at StarFM Zimbabwe, thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. And please remember, Zim is awesome. You're awesome. And Tariq, I'm glad you came through, because you know what? You're reminding everyone about that. Yes. You're married? You're single?
I am. I'm married.
You're married.
Yeah.
Girls, too late. I'm so sorry.
but I heard in Africa you can have a bunch of wives, though. So welcome to the motherland.
Yes, indeed. It's actually...
I'm joking, baby. My wife is looking. I'm playing. Y'all don't get me jumped when I get home.
It's in the Constitution. It's in the Constitution. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like that. I mean, everyone is allowed to worship and believe freely.
Yes.
There's that freedom of worship, freedom to believe. And of course, I know polygamy is illegal, right?
Over there, yeah.
Oh, man, I ain't coming to the state.
Man.
Tariq, what would you like to say to everyone here in Zimbabwe?
Man, I would love you guys to come out to the screening. We have a screening of my movie 1804 this weekend. I forgot the name of the cinema. What's the name of the cinema, family? You know what? Because I'm so bad with the language. What's the...
It's SK1.
Yes, and it's on what day? Because I don't even know what day I'm on.
Okay. SK105.
SK105.
All right.
Oh, what day? What day?
Saturday 20th. Oh, right.
Yes, okay. Make it
Saturday.
I've been traveling, and I don't know what day it is right now. I'm so confused.
Yeah, Saturday, that's when it's screening.
Yeah, y'all come out and see the movie 1804. You're really going to enjoy it. Then I'm going to do a Q&A after the film. And I just want to just come out and vibe. I want to see your faces. I've been just vibing, just loving everybody I've been meeting out here. And I just want to come and just see how the energy is and just continue that vibe and just talk to the family and really see what's on your mind here. I would like to know what's happening with you all here.
Fantastic. That'll be a great time to actually get to know everybody.
Yes.
So better come through for the screening. It's going to be fun. Listen, I actually watched the trailer, parts of the documentary, and I was like, what? No way. But yeah, you need to come out and watch it for yourself, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the date Mac, the dating Mac, the relationship guru, Tariq Nasheed.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Where can people find you on social media?
Oh, man, y'all can follow me on Instagram at Tariq Elite, TariqElite. You can follow me on Twitter at Tariq Nasheed. And you can go to check out the movie, 1804movie.com and hiddencolorsfilm.com to check out my movies.
No doubt. You need to check out those, especially if you're planning to buy that bleach lotion, girl. I'm just saying, girl, you just need to get your hands on that.
Yes.
Tariq Nasheed, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's get out of this cafe. It's time for them pictures.
Yes.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar.